Alright, welcome back to Witcher 3. Um, we just got done finding some of the Witcher gear diagrams. After last video, I followed a road basically to the end and ended up finding some even more so we were here, here, and I followed this road, went ahead and finished that up. Any of these you see were something that was too hard to kill, but here and here, these weren't on the map at all, but there was a Cyclops here that guarded the Mastercraft Ursine gear. And there might have been something cool here as well, but I just was on this road and I wanted to see what these two towers were. And so rode out there, and turns out it was Witcher gear. So we are now in town. We're gonna go after the go to find the Dreamer, but I wanted to hit some of these.
Geralt of Rivia, known as the White Wolf, the Butcher of Blaviken.
Geralt of Rivia's enough. What is it?
A man came to me a few years past, paid me to keep a book for you, said you'd come for it one day.
Who was he?
He didn't introduce himself, but the book has a red cover, that I remember. I'm sure I've not sold it.
Alright, see if I can find it.
And perhaps glance at the others while you're at it.
Be glad to look over what you got.
So, I just wanted to look at the store. This guy looked, he had a unique name, so I figured I would start recording before that. So, Necronomicon. So that could give us a bestiary, stuff, the world underground. So he said it was a red cover book, so it's either that or Ghouls and Owlghouls. The Wild Hunt. Last Wish. Let's look over here, and maybe it's possible that we've already have a copy of it. Religion and Life. Change we have a book called Letter. Okay, well, so it looks like the ones that are faded out we haven't read. Few remarks on basilisks and cockatrices, golems, ghouls and owlghouls, beasts. Wow, this is going to be real expensive if we try to buy them all, which is my first instinct. Okay, well, let's buy the red ones. Because maybe there's something in it. Let's buy Necronomicon. Basil. Let's just go buy them. Actually, let's see. What can we sell them back? Okay, so we'll get a little bit of money out of them. What is world's insectoids, golems? How to avoid colossal vessels. Ways and manner of skeleton folk. Okay, well. What a wolf is, every man knows. Who hasn't heard them howling at nights or seen their tracks in the snow come morning? Who hasn't felt a cold chill run down his spine when he catches sight of the pack of five of them hunting in the woods. These beautiful animals are treated by men as enemies, and not without reason, for they attack our flocks and will even kill our horses during times of deep frost. Yet they are noble beasts endowed with great intelligence and display a strength and independence that no man can help but admire. Okay. Ghouls and Alghouls. As for the genesis of ghouls, there are hypotheses aplenty. Some scholars claim these monstrosities arose from scoundrels who indulged in taste for human flesh, and for these misdeeds drew the wrath of the heavens down upon themselves. The gods punished them by taking away their souls, their minds, and their human forms. My experiments have shown, however, that ghoul anatomy displays far too little in common with that of humans for this thesis to seem at all probable. Any and all similarities in appearance between ghouls and men, such as their somewhat kindred shapes and their measures of their physiognomies, are pure matter of incidental circumstance. It thus follows that ghouls, like their vile cousins the Alghouls, are post-conjunction creatures, that is to say, such beings as came to our universe in an abrupt cataclysm disrupting the normal laws of nature. Necronomicon, so that didn't give us anything. To think that man appeared on an empty world and gained mastery over it unchallenged is as foolish as thinking the world will cease to exist after man's passing. Before the first man set foot on our world, it was inhabited by beings superior to men in terms of wisdom, strength, and every other virtue. The beings I have in mind still exist in our present time, though they do not exist in a sphere available to human understanding. They occupy no dimension known to us. Where they live can best be described as space between worlds. At times, one can sense their presence through a sudden unknown scent or a strange feeling of anxiety with no apparent cause. A wind which blows in several directions at once is another example of the subtle manifestations in our realm. There exist various imaginings of what these creatures might look like, yet they have nothing to do with reality, for man is incapable of conceiving something which he has not seen, even in his wildest nightmares. The greatest horror these beings bring comes precisely from their indefiniteness and lack of concrete form. It would be a mistake to think that a formless creature is necessarily harmless. The power they possess is sufficient to lay waste to a forest, level a city, or whip an entire sea into a froth and waves. Today man is a master of the world, but only for a short while. They await patiently and will soon arise and regain their one-time glory. This is as certain as the dawn follows dusk, and dusk then follows again soon after, to drown everything once more in darkness. Okay, a few remarks on basilisks and cockatrices. Why have you got such big eyes, Grandmom? Asked the little girl with worry. Shriek, shriek, replied the basilisk. Grandmom, why did you say shriek, shriek? Asked the little girl with surprise. The basilisk didn't reply, but instead clamped its toothy venomous maw over the curious little girl and swallowed her up. Luckily, a witcher named Eskel was wandering the lands in search of Zurgle. The witcher was experienced, so knew basilisk only turned people to stone in fairy tales. He also knew it is best to avoid their venom. Eskel noticed the monsters had recently eaten. Before anyone could say ready, steady, go, he threw himself at the beast and cut it open with his silver sword. The basilisk's stomach opened up, and the witcher saw a half-digested, foolish little girl inside. Okay. Wondrous world of insectoids. Got another bestiary thing. One is hard-pressed to think of a creature more hard-working and better organized than Indruga. Ants, bees, and termites are no match for them in this regard. Indruga's best even humans when it comes to foresightedness and industry. In fact, a human race could benefit a great deal from following their example, resigning from the primitive and obsolete social structures of feudalism and adopting instead a form of arachno-communism. In arachno-communism, every individual has a specific place and performs a specific labor for the common good. The roles are as follows: worker, soldier, and queen. Each comrade contributes to the necessary daily toil according to his special abilities, and takes from the common fund of wealth according to his special needs. Okay. Bestiary entry on golems. Golem, or man's most faithful servant. Despite what you have heard, the first golem was created not by a powerful mage or even an elven sage, but by a simple dwarf named from Maribor, named Bonaventura Sesto, a brickmaker. A fateful act of creation took place over a century ago when the persecution of non-humans was in full swing in Maribor. Elves and dwarves had become accused of bringing an epidemic to the city, though it was later discovered that the outbreak had been caused by a man named Mathio, a barkeep's dog's body at the Golden Goose Inn. This Mathio was charged with both serving meals and cleaning the latrines, and would only wash his hands once a month, and then not very thoroughly. The rest, as they say, is history. The persecution of non-humans was limited at first to robbing their shops, arson, and occasional beatings, but the violence soon escalated into a bloody pogrom. As the city guard looked on without lifting a finger, humans murdered elves and dwarves during the 3 days and 3 nights of slaughter, killing over 300 individuals, including the aforementioned Bonaventura Sesto's entire family. So pogrom was the word I was trying to remember. I think we're just outside of Triss's house. Driven mad with grief and thirsting for vengeance, Bonaventura molded a 10-foot tall humanoid out of clay, then carved the names of the slain non-humans onto it, along with a smattering of dwarven curses. Once finished, he slit his own throat, and when his blood spattered his gigantic statue, it came alive and started walking towards the city. Bonaventura had his sweet revenge on his persecutors. His creation killed almost 500 humans, including the mayor of the entire city council, before the soldiers from the city garrison could take it out with their ballista. The conclaves later investigated found that Bonaventura had possessed hidden magic talent. Though he had never had any training, the torrent of powerful emotions running through him at the time of his death fleshed out his latent powers and created from them a new spell. After numerous alterations and improvements, one can now cast the spell without sacrificing one's life, and golems guard laboratories, libraries, and palaces across the continent. So, good thing they fixed that problem. How to avoid colossal vessels. On the rolling deep, when there's nothing to rest your eyes upon save the horizon, you get lulled into a false sense of security which can easily spell your doom, for no man knows the day or hour, nor does any sailor know when a small dot at the edge of the horizon will turn into a Nilfgaardian Dromond racing towards him, its sail puffed full and prow ready to cleave his hull like an axe. Prevention is the first and best way to avoid such collisions. You must keep your eyes pried wide open, even when the waters are smooth as newborn hindquarters, and there's not a speck of land nor a hint of foreign flag to be seen. When vision fails in dark or murk, one must keep one ear cocked, especially in waters near Skellige, for the oarsmen of the archipelago add muster to their rowing with songs, and their thunderous voices carry far, so they can often be heard before they are seen. And it's a powerful boon that they thus reveal themselves, for a collision with the Skellige longship damns one doubly, for the vessel itself is armored prow to stern, while inside are ferocious, battle-hardened warriors. Okay. And Beast of the Tujak Foothills gives us something. Beast of the Tujak Foothills are fiends. Fiends are born of magic. For at times witches can cast spell on bears, causing them to mount boars, and the resultant offspring is neither boar nor bear, but has the makings of a fiend. Usually such boar piglets die of hunger, but there are times found and taken in by witches. Raised on enchanted milk, they grow in strength, and soon enough the milk is no longer enough for them. Now fiends, they start hunting and killing their victims with the ferocity of a boar and the strength of a bear. Yet they remain ever true to their mothers, meaning the witches. The witches protect them from danger, answer their every summons, and aid them in all things. One's attention is immediately drawn to the fact that their seemingly impoverished huts shine with cleanliness. The walls of their homes are usually made from pine, covered with a substance derived from sap, which keeps out all manner of vermin. I believe it scares off insects as well, for I did not see a single one indoors during my entire stay in Skellige. The interiors of the huts are quite spacious, usually divided into 2 rooms. The first is used by members of the household during the day and is separated by a doorway from the second, which acts as a bedroom and contains only simple wooden beds, covered with linens that resemble sacks more than continental bedding. In the middle of each main chamber stands a large round table, around which the members of the household gather to eat only once a day. This usually happens just after dusk, the time for their main meal. This supper is a hollowed event and is carried out in nearly a ritualistic manner. At its start, before the family members have even taken their seats around the table, the eldest of the family tears off a piece of bread and places it on something of a household altar, which occupies a place of honor in each Skellige home. This serves as a symbol of respect for deceased ancestors. At the end of this ceremony for the departed, the entire family sits down to eat. The eldest woman places a steaming bowl in the middle of the table. Everyone has their own spoon, which they dip one by one into the basin of the food. They most often eat porridge, over which they pour a gravy made from meat or fish. Curiously, immediately upon the supper's conclusion, the eldest takes the piece of bread set aside at the start of the meal and places it on a large amphora. As I later learned, that when an amphora becomes full, it is filled with boiling water, and a beverage is brewed, which tastes somewhat resembles beer, though it is much weaker. Message from an old friend. So, none of those books were the one. Okay, The Merry Adventures of Muriel the Lovely Harlot, Illustrated Edition.
The Merry Adventures of Muriel the Lovely Harlot, adorned with humorous engravings.
That's what I said. Okay. The Merry Adventures of Muriel the Lovely Harlot, Illustrated Edition. On one occasion, Muriel went on a journey to see her auntie in Maribor, accompanied by her nursemaid. Their path took them through a forest. In this forest lived a precocious troop of bandits. This infinite group was led by Flynn Selms, and all the king's men had been unable to bring them to justice. Alas, such was Muriel's great misfortune that these bandits chose to attack her carriage. Muriel's nursemaid was old, blind, and deaf. She did not wake when a tree fell in front of the carriage with a loud thud, nor when the bandits fought a fierce battle against the guardsmen. When Flynn ripped open the carriage door with the muscular arms and stepped inside, Muriel had to deal with the danger herself. "Make our guest comfortable, young lady," the old nursemaid muttered in her sleep. Muriel obediently carried out her instructions. Okay. I'm not sure that's the actual book we were looking for. Okay, but lots of books. Another red book there, another book there. Oh. The Treatment of Furnicles Through Cauterization, a study.
Through cauterization, a study.
That's what I said. Treatment of Furnicles Through Cauterization, a study. Everyone's seen a boil, usually more than they care to. These deformities don't just mar your beauty, they can be signs of disease or even the disease's cause and epicenter. If your lungs wheeze and your heart flutters, or if you're just sick of pustules, you can carve them off and be free of its ill for good. When you go to carve off a boil, use a sharp knife which you've had a dog lick thoroughly beforehand, for a dog's tongue works wonders in healing wounds. You've got to be brave as you go about it, slicing as confident and steadily as if carving off a hunk of cheese, then quickly cauterize the resulted wound using a red-hot poker. Don't pay any mind to screams or tears. Pus, bile, and any other humors needed to be gathered in a basin, then dumped in a pit, and the pit covered, else the illness might return. So, my manifesto,
My manifesto. Must be it. There's a letter inside.
Okay. The reason for choosing Jacques de Alderbergs as Grand Master remained a mystery. The Order of the White Rose had gone through a crisis in those times and was on the verge of collapse, so one might guess that the Brethren wished to have someone decisive as their leaders, someone with a clear vision. De Alderberg was precisely such a man. One of his first decisions was to change the Brotherhood's name to the Order of the Flaming Rose. Okay. So that's the witch hunters. The most puzzling aspect, however, is that the Order and the King himself decided to trust a man who, for all intents and purposes, had appeared out of nowhere. They say he was a wanderer, an itinerant priest who moved crowds and his speeches declaimed non-humans. They say he worked miracles and showed his flock visions of a world destroyed by the white frost. He was undoubtedly a man of great charisma, one instilled with unshakable principles which he turned to instill in others. Was he truly a source? Was he indeed gifted with raw magic talent? That we will never know for certain. letter from A. Okay. Witcher. In the ocean of possibilities, some events are more likely and some less. It is not easy to fish out of the first, not even when one's intellect stretches through all time and space. I left this letter for you and hope that despite all odds, you will come across it one day, for I must warn you, mankind is threatened. The prophesied destruction of the White Frost is not just the babbling of some mad she-elf. Perhaps I will have the opportunity to convince you of this in person. If not, I must rely on this letter, which you will read many years from now, at a time when you know more than you did when we first met. Know that nothing will save the world except preparing its entire population for this catastrophe. The old tales say a child of the elder blood can stave off the danger, but I tried and failed. Ever since I have been haunted by a hideous vision, a crowned wraith, the specter of my failure. I was the chosen one, and the chosen one failed. You and your brotherhood are our only hope. When the time of the wolf's blizzard comes, men shall perish, and only the Ubermen will survive. Your duty is to give the world Ubermen. Whatever you think of me, do not fail as I have failed. A. So A thinks that they are the chosen one, when it's pretty obviously that the chosen one is going to be Ciri. Let's see what's over here. Moribunda, a vampire's last likeness. Tyromancy, or the noble art of cheese divination. Oh, we gotta learn about cheese divination. Well, we'll save that. We'll read about the vampire first. Thereupon Isabella took Edward's glistening visage in her hand and embraced his icy lips, which were twisted into a cynical grin. "Forgive me, my love," she whispered, stifling the sobs heaving her bosom. "But my heart doth long with fiercer passion for yon werewolf, whom thou hast with all thy vampiric thou-ness. Thou hatest with all thy vampiric thou-ness." "'Tis for the best," spoke Edward, shifting his pale face toward the equally pale moon. "With me thy life was never endangered. With yon werewolf thou shalt know peace and happiness." Edward turned around and took a step towards the exit, but Isabella grabbed his waist and bade he stop. The touch of her hand was so tender, his heart newly began to beat anew after centuries of deathly stillness. "There is more," she spoke, averting his penetrating gaze. "I am with child." Okay. I mean, that's obviously a Twilight reference. Tyromancy, or the noble art of cheese divination. What splendid diversity reigns in the kingdom of cheese. The ripened curd can be white or blue, hard or soft, fresh or aged, from the milk of cows, sheep, or goats, brined, pickled, or untouched. The list could go on till the end of time. And each of them, every last slice, every morsel and crumb, not only brings with it an unmatched rush of sensory experience, but in the right hands can be made to reveal the universe's most closely guarded secrets. For cheese, like the innards of sacrificed animals, the flight of a swallow or vivid dreams can be used for divination. The depth and size of a cheese's holes reveals when rain will fall in the coming year, while the color of mold veins tells who shall love whom, and the scent of a hard grana padano predicts which army will vanquish its foes and which shall perish. The best divination, however, is done using the ancient method of fondue. One must simply melt two different kinds of cheese, preferably Emmental and Gruyere, in white wine, or in a pinch in a dry apple cider. Then one must use a long stick to immerse a morsel of bread in the resultant thick soupy mixture, all the while keeping in mind the question, what shall my child be like when he, or she, as the case may be, grows? Then bring the cheese-covered morsel of bread to a candle so that it casts a shadow on the wall. The shape will provide a sure and easily understood answer to your query. So now we know how to tell the future using cheese. Okay. Let's go ahead and sell off all of these books.
Interested in books? You don't look the scholar, but Oh, we've ones with drawings as well.
Let's see these books of yours.
We've got copies of all that. Okay. So we still have little peasant who confounded his lord. Underworld, something, the wild hunt. Okay, let's get the wild hunt.
Farewell.
Okay. And then we're going to come over to one more place. Oh, maybe two more places. Looks like there's Rosemary and Thyme. Okay. Looks like there's a blacksmith, but we're going to
What a freak.
convert our money.
Well, well, look who's here. The White Wolf himself in my humble establishment. How can I be of service?
Got some coin I'd like to convert into crowns.
You've come to the right place. A better rate you'll not find anywhere in the city.
All right. 1,700 bucks. Let's see. Cleaver's Hinged Dwarf. So I imagine Cleaver is normally in here. I don't know if this will trigger people outside or not, but we're not going to try it if it's not worth it. Yeah.
Watch where you're walking. Pam, param. Pam, pam, param. Pam, param. What's going on here?
Vivaldi Bank. There we go. Armor. I thought maybe I would say something. On my way. Okay. Talk armor.
Top-notch swords.
Master-crafted armor. Think you could make me some?
Ooh, I did get my journeyman's papers, but I've yet to make anything akin to a masterwork. You might try in Velen. A dwarf there goes by Fergus. He might help. Guildsmen claim there's no one better anywhere south of the Pontar.
Yeah, Fergus isn't any good. It's his wife
Show me
that's
what you
going to
have
be.
in stock.
Okay, let's check this out. Edwin Gerloff's third map. Heavily faded note by Hieronymus on the Witcher Elgar. Okay, rugged saddlebags. Cliff of Ard. Fusion. Axie, Yurden. Ard. Yeah. Well, we'll just buy all the specs. I know I needed at least one piece, but... Okay, let's go ahead and sell off anything we're not using. A Moonblade. So I have a whole bunch of these, like, look like special weapons, but I don't think they're actually worth anything. Freya's warrior armor. Spoon's boots. Craftsman's boots. Okay. Let's actually repair everything.
So long.
We will definitely read up on those maps. Should be much less boring than... Okay, beautiful. Professor Sklavo Atmanstein will be furious. I lost the first map in a game of Gwent. Then the second was stolen from me while I was slightly indisposed after a hard night at in the casino. I cannot arrive empty-handed at the station near the tomb under Crookback Hills, or the professor will vivisect me on the spot. The 4 new locations I have marked on this map might be enough to protect me from his wrath. Heavily faded notes by Hieronymus on the Witcher Elgar. Elgar placed upgrades to the School of Wolf Witcher gear in 3 different caves in the area immediately to the south of Kaer Morhen. He hoped future generations of Witchers would find them in an hour of need. Awesome. The Wild Hunt. A frail ribbon flickers across the sky, the rider's spectral silhouettes barely discernible within it. The cavalcade contorts closer and closer, revealing more and more of their ghostly form. Now the buffalo horns atop their helms penetrate one's view. Now the crest betwixt them. Now the skull-like face exposed beneath their visors. The riders sit astride skeletal mounts, bit of barding stuck to their sides like boils. A furious gale howls through the willows. Their blades now glisten like unfailing stars in the black sky. The wind howls louder and louder. No, that is no wind. That is ghoul song. Suddenly the nightmare's cavalcade twists once more, the hooves of its ghostly mount churning the light of will-o'-the-wisps hanging above the bog. At the head of the cavalcade rides the king of the hunt, a rust-eaten bassinet sways above a skull-like mask. Gaping eye sockets burn with pale blue fire. Around him whirls a tattered cloak. A necklace rattles atop his rust-covered breastplate. Holes empty at the abyss stare out from it. Once they were filled with precious stones, but these fell out during his race across the skies and became stars. The king of the hunt laughs. His teeth, rotten as the grave, snapping above the rusted collar of his breastplate. The blue flames of his eye sockets, in the eye sockets of his skeletal mask, roar. Okay. We want to make sure we are on the right quest. Griffin School upgrade. Okay, we've already messed with the herbalist. I did that before I started recording. I could have done all of the store stuff, but I thought maybe the bank would trigger something, and then I thought maybe the
Mind the guards.
bookseller would trigger something. So the bookseller did, but yeah.
The best stock in all Novigrad. No need to push, enough for all comers.
No one to push.
Very good. Manners before trade, always.
Let me have a look.
Okay, so not much, but Mandrake Cordial, we will definitely buy that. And nothing else.
Bye.
Let's look at our alchemy and make sure that that doesn't make us our last. Nope. Okay, we have one more piece in order to make a cherry cordial, and then that will get us superior cat. So get us a couple hybrid of Urania eyes, and we'll be able to create both enhanced and superior hybrid. Vermilion. Can we make vermilion? Okay, so when we make white gold, we have the chance of making either cat or superior vampire oil. Okay.
The thinking customer will see right around for the best deals this side of the pond.
Okay.
Just passing by, wanderer? Or do you seek something specific?
Who's asking?
Rudolf de Jonkier. Of those de Jonkiers, yes. My ancestors laid the foundations of this city. I now own its largest bank.
Didn't need a recommendation. Name would have been enough.
Father always said, all ought to know your merits, son. Don't hide them under a bushel.
I'm looking for Kareem Tilly.
Well, you've come to the right place, then. Corrine is inside. Been there for a few days, dreaming the home's history.
Why do you need to know the house's history? You a historian or on a whim?
I bought this property a short while ago. Paid a pretty penny, I might add. Soon after, I witnessed disturbances. Led me to fear the home might be haunted.
What are the symptoms?
Oh, they vary. Giggling in the night. And furniture moving about in the attic. And last week... well, you shan't believe it. I found human feces in the parlor.
Sounds like there's somebody living
What's
inside.
going on inside? Seeing it for yourself?
I'm a banker. Cursed homes scare me. Do you know how a haunting can affect property value? Point of fact. Corrine requested she not be disturbed.
I'd like to go inside, look around.
I don't usually let strangers rummage around my home. Twin swords, though. You're a witcher. You may enter, call that my whim. The second sword, is it in case the first one breaks? Smart.
Stop! Go away! Don't do that. Leave it!
There's a casket. So we have a basement.
Put it down, please. That's blood. Don't spill it. Please.
Okay, who's she talking to?
Stop. Go away.
Well, looks like Johnny.
Wake up. It's just a dream. Wake up.
The door. The attic.
All right. Time to check the attic.
Put it down, please. That's blood. Don't spill it. Please. Stop. Go away. Don't do that. Leave it.
Way to the next room's blocked.
Not for long. Okay. Drawing of a crib. Everyone's crib has been hastily drawn by a child, it seems.
There was a cradle on the second floor. Wonder what would happen if I laid a doll in it.
Let's go see.
Put it down, please. That's blood. Don't spill it. Please.
another masterpiece. An oven and a blackened grate. Oh joy. A riddle. Guess I should find an oven.
Stop! Go away! Don't do that. Leave it!
So that wasn't one upstairs. Let's go down, back downstairs. And if it's not in here, then we'll check the basement. Okay, we can blow through there. Oh. So this looks like it used to be... Ooh, racing saddle. I think my saddle might actually be better than that, but... Another racing saddle. Okay, let's check out the oven. Somebody inside there?
Boo! Did I scare you? Scared you, didn't I? Could tell you was scared. Big brave man scared of wee little Sarah. Ain't that funny?
I wouldn't do that anymore if I were you, Sarah. You might scare someone so bad they'll hurt you.
Why would someone hurt me? Having a spot of fun's not allowed anymore.
What are you playing?
That lady fell asleep, and I've sent her some horrible dreams. I'll not her wake neither. I can do that, you know. Funny, isn't it?
Very funny. Thing is, I gotta talk to the dreamer, so I'd like you to let her wake up.
Little Sarah doesn't want her to wake. Little Sarah wants to play.
You're lucky. I know you're a harmless godling, but others might not know, and then...
And how'd you know I'm a godling, eh? How's that, eh? Eh?
If it looks like one and acts like one, trust me, you're a godling. You give the dreamer nightmares and won't let her wake up. Why are you tormenting her?
I'm not tormenting anyone. Scary dreams are great. What I love is when this big hen chases me. Hen's got these red...
Why do you live in a haunted house?
Tell you a secret. The house ain't haunted. Not one bit. I just pretend it is. Make everyone think that. It was sitting there all empty, so I moved in. Bigwig from the bank then came and bought it. I don't like bankers, especially not to live with, so I decided to give him a scare.
Gave the banker a really big scare. See, he paid a lot for this house and won't give it up easily, which is why you need to find another home.
I don't want to! I don't! I won't!
Sarah, Novigrad's no place for a godling. But if you want to live here, that's your business. So let's make a deal.
A deal? What kind?
Leave the dreamer alone. In exchange, I'll tell the banker the house is haunted. For good, no way to lift the curse.
You tell him that? What if he doesn't believe you?
I'm a witcher. He'll believe me.
Yes? Yes? Yes! Do that and I promise not to bother your friend. Not even a little. You're awfully nice, you know.
I don't hear that often. Thanks.
Now go wake that sleepyhead. I won't stop her. She'll get up.
Okay, let's go talk to the dreamer. See if she knows she's dreamt anything of Ciri.
Who are you?
Triss Marigold sent me to see you.
Gods. Horrible nightmares. I was supposed to dream the history of this house. Instead, I saw furniture. Hungry furniture that wished to devour me. I know it must sound foolish, but in the dream, well, it was all too real. And not at all amusing.
The work of a godling. She made people believe the house was haunted. Also injected your dreams with her little jokes.
And you managed to wake me. I feel fortunate.
We Witchers have our ways.
I thank you very much. The dreams, they were awful. Any way I can pay you back?
There is, actually. I'm looking for a young woman who was seen in Novigrad.
I can certainly try to help. But I'll need to clear my head first. After those deranged dreams, I feel it's full of cobwebs. Find me at the Golden Sturgeon. I rent a room there.
All right. See you there.
Got it. So I'm an expert fighter, have super senses, but trip going down the stairs.
The second sword. Is it in...
Shut up about the second sword.
I saw Miss Corrine leave, but she refused to speak to me. Is the matter resolved? Or quite the opposite?
A bit of both. A demon had captured Corrine. I managed to free her, but the house is still haunted.
Did Corrine dream of the building's past?
Yeah. Pretty horrid, apparently, though she refused to talk about it. Nobody should inhabit the place.
So many crowns I paid! Oh, well. It shan't put me in the poorhouse. Truth is, we're already...
Don't care. Okay.
Wars. Wars everywhere.
Save me. I'm
Shady individual.
dying of poverty.
It's a cool cape.
Ooh. I've got a piece like a racehorse. Our world will burn! Burn in the eternal fire!
Okay, this is a different area. Nice. Talk to blacksmith.
Need something sharpened? Reforged?
What do you have on offer?
Mastercrafted silver sword. Yeah. I think we'll wait and build our next sword. Melteth. Spekrug longsword. Okay.
So long.
And then we're gonna see if this guy sells alcohol.
Welcome. Welcome.
What have you got there?
Alcohol. So we need this for white gold and we need this for other things as well. So we're gonna keep buying that because it's cheap and it's better to not have, better have too much than not enough. Okay.
So long.
Hopefully the bar we're heading to, or in, pub, whatever, has contract has some alcohol that we can buy for to make our white gold. Contract issued by the Temple Guard of the city of Novigrad. Fellow followers of the Flame, in recent days, several officers of the Temple Guard had been ravaged to death in a most bestial manner. An investigation has launched to look into the matter, so the perpetrator shall soon feel the iron grip of justice closing around his throat. Anyone able to help the guardsmen track down and punish this murderer, or murderers as the case may be, is asked to report to the nearest guard post at once. A reward is foreseen. It is likewise hereby announced that any man aiding or abetting these bandits or withholding evidence regarding these crimes shall be punished by torture, imprisonment, or even death. Okay. Gwent. Vimy Vivaldi cheats. To all Gwent players, the Dwarven banker Vimy Vivaldi is a villain and a cheat. Using typical non-human trickery, he conned his way to victory over me, then forthwith demanded I surrendered my cards without the slightest consolation or giving me the chance for a rematch. Anyone tempted to play with him, resist or regret. A well-wisher. Which knife should be used when eating fish? It is fitting for... Honorable Townswater, I deeply regret to inform you about the untimely death of Joachim Schwan, a tax collector who had served our fair city for many years. The ceremonial cremation of his remains will take place at the end of the current month. P.S. Since Joachim Schwan's family did not wish an address to be made known, please address all condolences to City Hall. P.P.S. Please refrain from sending letters of a derogatory nature. Newcomers are hereby informed that in Novigrad one worship the Eternal Fire and only the Eternal Fire. Practice of any other religion will be treated as an act of heresy and punished to the full extent of the law, that is by public incineration. Particularly forbidden is the wearing of the symbols of other deities and conducting the rituals in their honor or preaching of other faiths. Okay, announcing concerning items of a magical nature. May the following hereby be known: the production, possession, or sale of any magic item whatsoever, exempli gratia, amulets meant to bring good fortune, desire intensifying potions, dolls used to cast curses on their likeness, and so forth, strictly forbidden and shall be punished with the ultimate intensity. Okay. That was an accident, but we're up here, so let's see. Let's see what we can see. So it looks like that roof has holes in it. Oh! When did we last save? So that was kind of stupid, but pay attention to the color of your enemies. Oh, okay. Develop the Axii sign to unlock access to additional dialogue options. So worst case scenario, we have to be back at the finishing the Dreamer stuff. Axii sign can be used in combat and conversation or with wild animals. To use an ability, you must first acquire it and place it in one of the slots on the right side of them. Yep. Okay, good. Personal announcement. Word from the Armators Guild. Armorers Guild would like to remind you the following. No one shall forge nor sell armor nor helmets in Novigrad unless he has first joined our ranks and proven his credentials as a master. Members of the guild must pay 2 out of every 100 crowns earned to the communal fund. Any members who knowingly take on another member's apprentice shall pay half of his earned profits to the guild. Any member caught selling iron helms and breastplates claiming they are steel shall be stricken from the guild registry. Any member who brings a weapon to a guild meetings shall pay a day's earning to the communal fund by way of punishment. What if you just want to show off? Bulk Bros delivery. 1 fathom equals 3 L's. 1 L equals 2 feet. 1 foot equals 12 inches. 1 L is 2 feet. Okay, we keep seeing L's. People refer to L's every once in a while. So an L is 2 feet. 1 fathom is 3 L's. Okay, well, that's good to know. To the clever fuck who's taken to relieving himself on my doorframe every night, if you're reading these words, pay attention. I purchased a top-notch dwarven crossbow at market. I'm going to sit by my window day in and day out till the end of the world if I have to, waiting for you to show up again. So unless you want a bolt between the eyes or up your hiney, go empty your water somewhere else, you dirty hooligan. Funny. Okay. Is there a door over here? So we are definitely gonna see if they have any.
That would be me. Has the honor to announce that betting is now open. Georgius George,
Okay.
known also as Pile Driver, is the name of our tavern's champion.
Okay, we need to go around.
I believe I see a challenger who seeks to.
So we just heard them say it sounds like there's fights here,
What'll it be?
but we need to be higher level to join in. Not to join in, but
What are
to
you serving?
do a good job and win. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and buy all of that we can. All the cherry cordial we can. I didn't mean to buy that last one. And all the mandrake we can. Squirrel tail card, the card. 20, 20, 20, 20, 10. We'll just buy those. Someday maybe we'll get around to doing our Gwenting stuff. Okay. Beauclair. Some serious money there if we ever go back to our to the starting area. That does not look like a ham sandwich. Maybe it's a very lazy person's ham sandwich. You just put ham between 2 slices of ham. Yeah, I'd eat that. Okay. Okay, our nip coating saddle is better than racing saddle, so we'll go and sell those off as well. And see what... weird that we can sell a casket to a bartender. Alright. I don't know why I'm keeping these, but they seem weird to sell. Okay.
Farewell.
Okay, so she's upstairs.
A dream in here.
Never witnessed a seance like this before, let alone participated.
I will guide you. You must first achieve a kind of mental accord. I must ask some questions. You must answer them. It's important you're truthful. Answer from your heart.
Okay.
Your gift. Tell me how it works.
It's hard to describe. To start with, I must gain an understanding of the bond between the person and the object I'm to dream about. I ask questions, try to flesh out feelings, emotions. Truth is essential in this, and though most who come to me acknowledge that, many refuse to speak openly of certain matters. Apart from which, they remain unaware of others, further obscuring things.
What do you see in your dreams?
I don't. It's my client who sees. My gift lies in summoning the right dreams. At times, nightmares or strong desires impose themselves on true events. It takes skill to separate seed from chaff.
Let's do this.
Let's begin.
To start with, tell me a memory you have of this woman.
What for?
Do as I ask, please. I need the strongest, most complete memory you have of...
Ciri. The woman's name is Ciri.
Okay. I trained her at Kaer Morhen. I remember when we first met, saved her life once. She was there when I died. Are we gonna see these? Or hear a little bit more about these? I wonder which of these is most interesting. Saved her life once. Trained her at Kaer Morhen. We've seen some of the training at Kaer Morhen. She was there when I died. That seems the most interesting.
It was in Rivia. The second war with Nilfgaard had just ended. There was still tension in the air. For gods know what reason, race riots erupted in the town. I tried to do something, but couldn't stop a riled crowd. A boy with a pitchfork. He ran it right through my gut. Yennefer lay dying as well. Ciri had us carried onto a boat. We sailed to a place where apple trees bloom eternal. She left us there. That was the last time I saw her.
Is there anything you'd like to add? Another memory, perhaps?
Yes, there's something else.
All right. Tell me no more than you wish to.
We're gonna get to see all this. Yeah, let's talk about all of this.
I accepted a job once. Did it. Asked to choose my reward, I invoked the law of surprise. Never thought I'd actually meet the child promised to me at that time. Years later, I was in the Brokilon forest. Happened on a girl there. Didn't know who she was. The Dryads wanted to keep her, turn her into one of their own. But the Waters of Oblivion, they failed in her case. Ciri came out of Brokilon with me. I sent her back to her grandmother then. But already, I felt bound to her.
By destiny.
By something more.
Thank you. Would
So-
you be willing to share another memory?
Yes.
No
So,
need to rush.
I haven't watched all of the Witcher TV show. But in the TV show, Ciri has made it to Brokilon Forest. I guess the Witcher will meet up with her soon. But her grandmother is already dead. So that's at that point in time in the show. So that might be a place where things diverge. So I know there are books written in Polish and short stories written in Polish, and then the Witcher games are kind of sequels to that, unofficial sequels. And I think the TV show is basing off of the short stories, I think. But I don't know. I'm still kind of new to the whole Witcher lore. Let's learn about her training.
Ciri was orphaned during the Second War with Nilfgaard. I had no idea what to do with a young girl. So I did what I would have done with a boy and took her to Kaer Morhen. Figured some physical training, sword work, development of her stamina couldn't hurt. I remember her standing on a crumbling wall. A stone came loose, she lost her footing. Caught her at the last possible instant. Strongest memory, though, is of her coming out of her room one day, wearing a dress and claiming she was indisposed. Knew then that Ciri was maturing. It was unavoidable. I was lost in the face of that.
I see. Do you wish to tell me anything more?
Yes, I think so.
In that case, I'm listening.
We're doing this more for us and not for
It was after her time training at Kaer Morhen.
Sleeper.
After the moment when Yennefer first called Ciri her daughter. We'd been separated. I knew she was in danger. I dreamt of her multiple times. I found her at Stygga Castle. She'd gone there to free Yen and gotten herself captured in the process. They wanted to hurt her. I remember fighting side by side with Ciri on stairs slippery from blood. It was the first time she ever deflected a crossbow bolt with her sword. Told her never to try it again.
You claim the woman has abilities. Tell me about them.
Yeah, let's hear about the abilities. She is a child of Elder Blood. Hopefully we can listen to all
She's a
these.
child of the Elder Blood.
A descendant of Bloody Falker. The rebel burned at the stake. The prophecies claim the world's destroyer will be born of the Firebrand's cursed blood.
Pure legend.
No one in legend transforms into prophecy when it gains believers. I think you're right to be reticent in talking about the woman. I see. Do you wish to say more?
Yeah, there's something else.
They call her the Lady of Space and Time.
They call Ciri the Lady of Space and Time. Once I asked Yennefer why. She travels between worlds. Turns out I don't know how to talk about it. Didn't really understand much of what Yen told me. I just know there's more to it than traveling to different places, and that Ciri carries immense power in her blood.
I see. Do you wish to say more?
Yeah, there's something else. I remember Ciri having trouble controlling her abilities. Yennefer tried to teach her to cast simple spells, and Ciri destroyed a shed near the temple where they were. Really upset her, but it was just an old shed. I know it took her a while to gain control, and frankly, I doubt she controls her abilities fully to this day.
I see. Do you wish to say more?
No. Can we start?
Naturally. I knew you cared about her. But your tone, the emotions you so carefully conceal.
Let's continue, please.
Make yourself comfortable and try to relax. You must take my hand and talk of Ciri. Tell me where you think she might be. Who could be at her side?
If Ciri couldn't find me, I'm sure she would have looked for another friend.
Who do you mean?
So we know she didn't look for Yennefer. Well, we know she didn't find Yennefer and Triss. So we'll say Dandelion.
Maybe Dandelion. They liked each other a lot.
She gonna teleport in?
Dreamt of a swallow at first. After that, just nightmares.
At times, the dreams can multiply. Show the past as well as the future.
The swallow. It symbolizes Ciri. She contacted Dandelion. I didn't know he was in town.
The poet. Heard about him. Someone left him the rosemary and thyme in their will.
Huh.
The rosemary and thyme? Where's that?
As you enter the city through the red light district, you come upon a bridge. The rosemary is just past it.
Dandelion inherited a brothel?
So I've heard.
Thanks for your help.
Good luck, Witcher. I hope you find your Ciri.
They're starving in Bazimi. They eat horse cub.
Why are you looking at me cross-eyed, grey boy?
Okay. Oh, there's a basement. What's in the basement?
You'd make a fine sailor.
Okay.
Hey, Whitey. Why'd your hair go white?
The hard nuts. Who knows?
Okay.
What grace, what style.
Okay, we crossed the bridge. Maybe that's not the bridge. Bandits? Okay. So we didn't have Quinn on.
I serve the eternal fire.
Black ones for Danians, as long as they pay. Don't
was the eternal fire.
Okay, so this must be the place.
I never come back, you stinking scatties.
All we wanted was...
Don't give a flying fuck what you wanted. Get!
Let's go and save, because who knows what's going to happen when we walk into a brothel.
Next time I'll rip your fucking legs off and shove them up your ass till you've toes for teeth.
I think that's one of our...
Get out in the nick of time, as always.
one of our
Salt,
friends
with
from
your boot
previous
to
slide.
someone's ass, as always. Who were those men?
Local colour. I wasn't gone more than a moment. Long enough for them to turn our home into theirs. All right, time for some spring cleaning. I've got to boot them all out. Care to join me?
Yeah, might as well.
Pleasure.
We can't kill him! No! Give me back! Reminds me of a piece of war. Yeah, almost like they never left Bergen.
Told you to know.
I'm pleased. That went well. Now we can treat each other like the gods ordained. Ages, pal.
Hey, Zoltan. You look good.
Training plenty lately. What with the war on, no Mahakaman meat to be found, but Redanian lagers standing in just fine. You, though, you've withered a bit. Something worrying you?
It's about Ciri. I know she came to Novigrad. Might still be here.
You mean she's come back? I'll be damned. I wonder if I'd recognize her. How many years is it now? 6, 7? But what'd she be doing here?
Hiding, probably. She might be in danger.
See her in your dreams?
Couple times. Her and the Wild Hunt.
Oh, not good.
Not at all, but I know she came here and contacted Dandelion.
We've a wee problem then.
Where's Dandelion?
I'd like to know that myself. Maybe he can explain what the hell's going on. I just barely returned, as you saw. Expecting to come home to you hot like a boar and some cold ale. What do you find instead? A shite storm. Dandelion gone, the tavern chock full of bums. Have no clue what happened.
Let's look around. Might find something that'll put us on his trail.
Prime idea. I say we start on the ground floor. It's where he sat and wrote.
Okay. Letter from Fran. We return to Sedaris. I hope it will be soon, for I miss you terribly. Waiting to see you again literally pains me. If you are to come, send a message beforehand. I'll ask my mistress for a day off. Contract issue, but okay.
Ah, a note from a grateful muse.
Reading someone else's letters.
My visage red and hot, I plunged into purest ecstasy, imbibing its nectar, your dexterous digits on my soul's yearning chords.
Hmm. 10 barrels of Toussaint Dry, 5 cases of sodden triple mead. Nothing here.
No, that's exactly what we're looking for. It's his planner.
Huh. Dandelion and planning. Good one. Besides, anything he wrote here probably had a special system. Chaos only he could ever decipher. Actually, in the past, sometimes not even that.
Give him a chance. Might not be that bad. Seems when he inherited this fine establishment, it came with some fine responsibilities. Bookkeeping among them. He also made a habit of noting down the times of his meetings, official and private. So, who'd he been seeing of late? Ah, here it is. Seems he's only been meeting women of late, the dog.
Not a bad idea. Dandelion's pretty loose-lipped. Might have blabbed something to a lady friend that'll put us on his trail.
That's what I'm counting on. We should divide these somehow. Perhaps... fuck it. I'll ask the lassies in my half, you interrogate the ones in yours. Suche?
Zoltan, wait. This is in verse.
And you figure that's unnatural because...
Wonderful. Meet me back here when you're done. Share our findings.
Right you are. Need to do a wee bit of tidying before I go. Cannot stomach the idea of coming back to this mess. And you'd be wise to read your bit before you scurry off. If you need anything, I'll be next door.
From the finest vineyards, every last one.
No one knows the fruit of the vine like Dandelion.
There's our stat. Yeah, so here's all these swords that we've been kept because they all had individual names. Some of them, or they seem to. Moonblade and Harvel. Glory of the North. Princess Zenith's sword. Carabella. So Viper we need to keep. The Digger. Wild Hunt's Warrior Sword. We don't. So I think we can actually sell off all of these. So that's a bunch of money we can get. We need to keep the Warrior's leather jacket. And we'll probably keep the Temerian armor. It looked cool, but yeah, everything else can probably go. Let's actually come in here and let's put those away. Level 18. Letter from a female admirer. It's weird. Just a hallway that goes nowhere. Okay. Let's go ahead and do some reading. Rose var Atra. Like a rose abashed of its crimson hue, fair Rosa would sink into humor's blue. She shunned her lessons in civility to swing her dwarf with agility. A charming garden enclosed villa in Gildorf. Molly. Though well she knows the touch of silk and lace, she shuns not straw when gripped in lust's embrace. Gildorf villa next to the morgue. Vespula. Though timid in looks, no adventurer did skip her. My heart melts when she asks, "Ever had a Big Dipper?" Far corners, laundry near the mouth of the Pontar. Marabella. Through her cries are divine when behind closed doors, standing on stage, she squawks, are drowned by snores. The bits near Poplar Square. Alil. A figure most rare, her nature dual. Look deep in her eyes or be made a fool. Tailor shop across from the tannery. Letter from Bohemil de Rob. Once more I'd like to convey my thanks for agreeing to grace my son's wedding ceremony with your song. Your presence warmed our hearts, and the sweet notes with which you serenaded us touched my wife's mother, the Baroness du Valette. Some called in some circles a cold and heartless bitch. The tears of tender emotion appeared in her eyes. Letters from a female admirer. The thrust of your hypnotic gaze left my visage red and hot. The whole world suddenly set to spinning in a whirlwind of oblivion and plunged into purest ecstasy, imbibing its nectar. The music, the singing, you. For that one brief moment, I felt as if I were the lute you so skillfully strummed, wanted nothing more than for you to put your dexterous digits on my soul's yearning chords. So that's what Zoltan was reading to us. Okay, sounds like we have 4 different people to talk to. Oh, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe more.
I'll miss a woman's touch.
Okay.
Oh, let it go, Jared. Come on, we need another place to hunker down the night. Maybe we'll try.
Let's see.
What the? Look at me. I look like a ploughing beggar to you. I'm a sick.
Start with this one.
temporarily short of a permanent dwelling.
Oh, talk to Zoltan.
You're a bigger rat picker.
Yeah, that's not a... There's a back door, though.
Still here? Looking for something?
Just checking to see that everything's in place. Buggers might have hauled something off for pawning.
Actually, glad you're still here. Wanted to ask you about someone.
Oh, do I care?
Though well she knows the touch of silken lace, she shuns not straw when gripped in lust's embrace.
Molly. Keeps things tidy for the Baroness Lavalette.
A baroness within reach and he settled for a chambermaid?
Dandelion's not one to judge folk by their station. You know that. Like he says, in the alcove, we're all equals.
Yeah. Guess a true poet observes life in all its aspects, examines it from all perspectives. If I didn't know him better, I'd say he was jealous about this Marabella.
Oh, I doubt it. Former pupil. And well, the tales he told me about her.
Doubt I want to hear them.
Probably better off not. Things between them took a turn for the strange at some point.
Meaning?
She had him wearing mummers' costumes. Took to calling him Christian, referring to herself as Anastasia.
Huh, truly perverse.
He didn't ken half of it. Called him her stallion once. That's a fool took it as a compliment. Till she pulled a bit in the reins into her cupboard. Poor bastard fled out the window.
Funny.
Vespula. Name rings a bell. She threw his knickers out the window.
That's her.
Hollered something about him being a scoundrel with a voice like a consumptive pheasant.
That's her.
Threw flower pots at him.
Guess soul flames never die.
Like a rose abashed of its crimson hue, fair Rosa would sink into humor's blue. She shunned her lessons in civility to swing her dwarf with agility. Dwarf. Never suspected he'd be so humble.
Dwarfs what Rosa var Atre named her Guihir. Well chosen, eh?
All right. But Var Atra? Her dad happened to be the Nilfgaardian ambassador?
He is. You know him?
Wouldn't say that. Had a brief conversation with him at the palace in Vizima.
Well, then you've a good notion of the kind of bloke he is. Commissioned Dandelion to tutor Rosa and her sister in the art of rhetoric. But we Rosa preferred swordplay.
How dare she reject the great bard in favor of a common swordmaster?
More than one, it seems. Week on week, we get fresh gossip about her thrashing another instructor. So bad he resigns. Word has it her dad's now looking to hire her next victim. I mean, instructor.
Yeah, it could be fun.
A figure most rare, her nature dual. Look deep in her eyes or be made a fool. Well, well, seems fascinated with this one.
Not without reason. Never been much for elven women myself, but this one's exceptional. Dare say Francesca Findabaird be jealous.
You want to take this one, then?
Nah, you can have her.
Why?
See, elven beauty's like a young Beauclair wine, whereas I prefer vodka straight up.
Well, know about all I wanted to know. Thanks for your help.
Okay. So we have Vespula, Eliel. So Marbella's a ways away. Same with Molly. Okay. Yep. I'll start with Vespula.
The eternal flame will burn away our sins.
Is this the washerwoman?
Julia claims you agreed to pay.
I will get you every last copper, with interest. Give me a week, please.
Horson's no banker. He's an honest man. You pay on time, you get protection. You don't pay.
Help!
What you hollering for, stupid wench? What are you hoping for? A knight in shining armour?
Close enough.
Keep out of this, greyhead, not your concern.
Vespula's got someone else's protection now.
Really? Who's that be?
Mine. Offered her a better rate.
All right. So, let's see if you're a good bargain or just cheap shit.
And in two.
Covered in blood, all of it. So much work for naught.
No need to thank me. It was nothing.
Sorry. Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful, but
Everything I had. I just lost.
Relax. It'll come out in the wash.
Of course it will. Just gotta soak it in white vinegar, but that's not my point. Junior shan't forgive me. Either I'll close up shop myself or he'll burn me down.
Sorry. Didn't think about that.
A woman's lot. Men have their fun and we're stuck with a mess. Oh well, I suppose I must move to Oxenfurt. Professors need clean undergarments too.
I think the academy's shut down right now.
Don't know if you remember. We've met.
I don't... Wait, I know you. You're that witcher I near clobbered with a vase when... Well...
When you kicked Dandelion out. Through the balcony. Actually, he's the reason I'm here. Know where he is?
Probably out whoring. That horse pheasant. That lying scoundrel.
Ouch. What did he do to get your goat?
Same thing as ever. Prize bullshitter came back, saying it was till death do we part this time. And no more than a week passed before I spotted him in Harbourside, strolling with some trollop on his arm. 'Twas the last straw. All those questions about the washerwomen at the bathhouse, then this. I beat him black and blue and threw him out on his ear.
Dandelion ask you about other washerwomen? Not terribly subtle even for him.
Maybe he likes some sudsy.
Maybe. But what did he ask about, exactly?
Oh, this and that, really. What's it like at the bathhouse? Have I got any friends there? What are their working hours? I don't know. Maybe he's looking to hire one for his tavern. Maybe I got all in a huff for no reason.
This woman he was with in the harbour. Who was she?
Claimed she was his niece from Kovir. Ha! Horvir, more likely. Corset so tight her eyes were popping out her head. His too, come to think of it. An artist or a whore. Doesn't much matter as they're one in the same.
Thanks for your help. Listen, when I find Dandelion, anything I should tell him?
No. I mean, tell him he's a two-faced snake, but it would be nice if he dropped by.
I seem to remember something about those masks and having to wear one to get into a party. Okay. Yep. We'll talk to Elihal.
Oh, films today.
Welcome. Do come in.
I'm a friend of Dandelion's, looking for Elihal.
You've come to the right spot. How might I be of service? Need something shortened? Patch your trousers, darn your socks.
You Elihal?
Yes. Now pick your jaw up off the floor.
Sorry, I thought Elihal was one of Dandelion's girlfriends.
Oh, so it's that. Wait here. Any better?
So you're...
Elihal.
Okay.
Did you and Dandelion... how did you two meet?
I met him one night in a tavern. He was blind drunk.
And then?
What happened?
What do you think? We spoke.
That's it.
I'm not sure what you're getting at, but I should make one thing clear. Men don't interest me. Told him that as well. Luckily, Dandelion's an open-minded fellow. We had a lovely evening. He became a loyal customer afterwards.
What did you and Dandelion talk about? He asked about anything in particular?
Let me think. Had an ordinary chat, really. Although, indeed, he did keep asking about Kalkstein. If Dandelion and I hadn't laid our cards on the table at the start, I might have suspected he had a history with the alchemist. He spoke like a lovesick beau. In fact, he desperately wished to meet with him.
Kalkstein's in Novigrad? Wouldn't mind seeing him myself.
You're too late, I fear. The witch hunters nabbed him recently, burned him at the stake in Hierarch Square. But as he perished, the goings-on, impressive. Fiery beasts circled his pyre, then rose into the sky and exploded to form letters.
Really? What did they spell?
Radovid sucks flaccid cock.
Dandelion visit your shop often?
I tried many times to talk him into a decent doublet. Sadly, he'd only come in to get a button reaffixed or a hole patched.
When did you last see him?
Some time ago. He brought in one of Zoltan's jerkins, insisted I sew on an extra pocket. Odd as requests go, I had the distinct feeling he'd actually come to talk.
Thanks for your help, and nice to meet you.
I can help with much more. If you need new trousers or a vest, you know where to find me.
See what he has for sale.
Greetings. Come to look over my spring collection.
Yeah, so I think those masks we must got them for him.
Glad to take a glance at what you got.
Of course, please do. If anything chafes or pinches, I can alter it on the spot at no charge. Once I'm done, it'll feel like you're wearing nothing at all.
Elegant Mask or Masquerade Ball. Harlequin Mask. Bird Mask. Wish we could see what they look like. I think I hated these boots. Okay. Well, we'll come back and get these when we actually need them. And we may check out these here to replace our Elegant Courtier's doublet as our fancy dress.
So long.
Okay, Marabella.
Carries his pitchfork like you on his
Molly.
back. I say you're both daft.
Okay. Molly is slightly closer.
Our son's a warrior. Went off with Radovid to clobber the Black Ones.
Naught for word, naught to eat. Double spawn.
Thought I would scare the birds away, but apparently they didn't care. Okay. I think we've talked.
Help! Save me! I'm dying of poverty.
Of poverty, okay.
Give us a crown, Give us a crown.
It doesn't let us.
Mister, why are your eyes so strange?
I'm not sure what they're running from. Maybe it was me. Oh, here's the nice tavern. I think stuff goes on here. Because I remember this place.
Kingfisher. Where do you get the name?
Master Dandelion's poetry. The kingfisher preened, then fell in the latrine. Know it?
Yeah. Also know the one about Princess Annie, who drowned in the River Fanny.
Yes. At any rate, the kingfisher welcomes poetry lovers with open arms. Some of the brightest stars in the literary firmament perform here.
What are you serving today?
Okay. Did not mean to buy that fish, but it happens. Go and sell our Avalus. So we got some florins now. Okay.
See you later.
You must sweat like a swine in that jacket.
What shall I whip up for supper?
Just this morning, my Greta came back from the market with news.
Personal announcement. Widow of 60 years, medium height, above average intellect, possessing a fortune in both species and real estate. She's old maid or child's will of someone's age. Someone. Okay. Weights and measures. Beware, there's a swindler about. Stay out of the sewers. We like to inform all venerable residents that don't forget that last week the temple guard fished 3 bodies out of the following restrictions out of the sewers. Male of moderate age, clad in rich apparel with birthmark upon his upper shoulder. Female, elderly, dressed in blue nightshirt, numerous blunt trauma wounds all over her body. Male, young, naked, indecent tattoo on his groinal area. These bodies will be examined and identified at the end of the month, then cremated.
Greta's got the imagination of a drunk troubadour. She'd never lied about.
He's got a feather in his hat.
Don't be shy now. Looking doesn't cost a thing. There's plenty to behold. This here's a collection of wonders that belong to the mage Eramas. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
How do you get a hold of these? Never heard of a mage willingly parting with his treasures?
No one asked Eramas's will. He was burned at the stake a fortnight ago.
Strange they didn't burn his stuff with him. Witch hunters let you resell it just like that?
Why wouldn't they? These are common goods, some valuable only as collectibles, perhaps.
All right, I get it. These items aren't actually common.
Rumor has it, each is an enchanted key.
Rumor happened to mention where to find the locks these keys open?
Sadly, no. Why, if I knew, you could hardly expect me to sell them.
Where did Eramas live?
At a lovely residence south of Oxenford. Badly damaged now, as he made the hunters pay dearly for his skin.
Show me what you have.
Cool. Okay, potion of clearance. Return all ability points. Okay, so that's lets us respec. Curious case of Virtuous Vega. Okay. Okay, a lizard figurine. Needed to complete a quest. $40. Sounds good. $4 for a jade figurine. Easy enough. I guess technically they're just crowns. Old wine from Toussaint. Yeah. Drum. Loot. Okay, we got a bunch of that. Well. We'll buy it. And how much are these? It didn't tell us how many we had then. It's weird. Oh, because we're still on the... we're still trying to buy stuff for... White Gull. Okay. Cool. We'll have to go check that out.
Farewell. Statuette of a man. Wasn't carved, but produced using magic. Ought to ask Triss about it.
Okay. Okay, well, I need to take a quick break, so we'll pick this up next time. We'll finish up these, hopefully find out about Ciri here, and then probably head off to Skellige. At least to open that stuff up and see what's going on there. We may come back and finish up quests here and there, but yeah. Thanks for joining me. Bye.